Well, good evening, everybody. The wait is over, and we are back for Season 18 of the Monday GT2 Championship. We have a lot in store for you guys this evening. We have Super Pole for round one of round one here at Road America, and really looking forward to this event here tonight. We got a jam-packed grid. We got about 35 guys looking to qualify tonight, and a few others who weren't able to make tonight's event, but will be here next week. But before we go on, just want to welcome everybody to Season 18, and also my broadcast partner, Brad Maris. Brad, thank you, and thanks for being here again with me for this upcoming season here at NAGP.
I couldn't wait during the off-season, Al. It's great to be back for this season. Coming off Tiago's great championship run, I can't wait to see what we have in store. See if the guy can repeat, or one of these other guys can knock on the podium and claim this Season 18 championship.
Tiago Canola driving this season the Porsche. Actually, he switched from the car he drafted. He switched to the Porsche 997, so he'll already be carrying weight heading into tonight. But a little surprised by that move, Brad. He switched to the Porsche. What do you think caused that move?
Well, it's an interesting move. I think for the season's tracks coming up, they aren't going to be worried about so much power on a race-to-race basis. They want to make sure that they have a car that can get around the bends nicely and nice and consistently. And also, you know, they're going to get a nice fuel advantage in that Porsche as well. So it's quite a sipper compared to some of these cars out there. But on tracks like this, you know, they have a potential of struggling a little bit. They're going to be a little down on power, but an interesting move nonetheless. And you know, we've seen this these early changes before. It hasn't always worked out well for some of these top guys, aka all Chris Moses last year. We'll see how it works out for Tiago.
Yeah, that's a good point. Remember, Chris Moses did switch from the McLaren early in the season to the Jag, and it turned out to be probably his most difficult season at GT2. But we're looking for him to bounce back. Chris is in the B6 Alpina, teamed up with Gup Douglas, and they should do all right in that car. It's looking pretty quick.
I should think so, and Chris Moses has performed well in similar BMWs in the past. I wouldn't expect any different here tonight, and this season. Excuse me.
So we're underway here at Super Pole qualifying here at Road America. Just to give everybody a quick rundown how this is going to work. The quickest time from practice will go last. So and the slowest time will go first. Some guys elect not to set a time so they can get out early and clear the, you know, not have to wait so long to run their hot lap. But nonetheless, this is a brief explanation of how Super Pole works. It's single lap qualifying for this event, so each guy will go out, set one lap, set a time. Top two guys in this session will be guaranteed the first two starting spots for next week's endurance event, and immediately following this single lap qualifying, we'll have a 30-minute qualifying race, and the rest of the field will be determined by those finishing positions. So we've just moved over to qualifying 2.
Yeah, and you got to love the Super Pole event here, Al. At a little over 2 minutes a lap here, we are going to be in Super Pole qualifying for quite a while. But it sure is an exciting event to have those single laps on, and the whole world, our millions of viewers worldwide, Al, watching these guys on their single laps. And then of course we have that qualifying race immediately following, and that's always a barn burner as well. So we're in action tonight.
Yes, the qualifying race is typically pretty action-packed. The guys, like we've mentioned in previous seasons, will tend to be a little more aggressive for those races to try and shore up a finishing position closer to the front. And you'd be surprised how many positions you can make up if you don't tend to qualify all that well, but depending how things turn out in the race, you could find yourself up quite a few positions. So Bjorn Heyman out in his hot lap, driving the Ferrari 458 Pirelli shod car.
Yeah, here we go. Bjorn first on the clock, aka Trickster, longtime NAGP veteran around here, and looking sharp. I believe he is in that Ferrari this season now. I've got my notes out in front of me, but I can't see him at the moment.
Well, as he makes his way around the track, I should mention that practice times were a little surprising. We got a new Nick Johnston who joined NAGP kind of late last season. You know, did show some pace during the late part of that season, but he's in the Panos here tonight. He was at the top of the timesheets with the 2:04 in practice, so he'll be going last. So should be interesting to watch Nick here this season.
Yeah, well, really interesting character here, and interesting season. We have a chance to talk about a little bit. He is in that Panos, Nick Johnson, we talked about, just getting his feet wet. And that Panos was a pick of quite a few people out there. I think it really turned some heads when these guys are practicing. But just to update, yeah, you could see Bjorn Heyman there in that Ferrari F458 Italia. A beautiful livery on that car.
Should mention that Sam Rolfe also is looking pretty quick. He's Nick Johnson's teammate, also in the Panos. So looking for some big things from from Sam this season. We'll see how he turns out. As we watch Bjorn here, as he's about to take the green flag to start Super Pole here at Road America.
Season 18 officially kicks off, Al. Been a long off season. It's good to get back at it.
Very interesting paint job on this. Go ahead, sorry, Brad.
I was just going to mention, we got Bjorn on track here. We're following him around. Bjorn did start to come with some pretty strong finishes towards the end of last season. I think he might kind of be getting off the snide here. Had a couple down seasons, but look forward to Bjorn to rebound a little bit here in season 18.
Yeah, correct. He was in the Mercedes SLS last season, and some tracks he did well at, and some tracks not so good. But he's a little bit inconsistent with that car. But we'll see. This Ferrari's a great car. We should see some good things from Bjorn this season. So far, looking pretty good as he heads into the carousel. A little wide on the entrance.
Yeah, and that Ferrari, well, this is the car to have around this section of track right here, that's for sure. It's a big time lost or gained through this section right here.
This corner coming up is also very critical. You want to keep it flat through here. You're not perfect. The car will tend to run wide. You don't get that corner right. Also, coming up here, Canada corner. And also another tricky corner. It's a little deceiving. You want to brake as late as you can, but stay out of that cap box.
Yeah, a little hard to judge your entry, and got a bit of a descending radius into that braking zone there, Al. It's a tricky one.
So Bjorn looking to be around 207 range, maybe 08, in 08. So Bjorn on provisional pole, as Jens Klepnow takes to the track, and the McLaren, new paint job for the McLaren. I also mentioned the paint job on that 458 Bjorn was running. Very nice paint job. It's got a strange.
Yeah, and again, thanks to.
Sorry.
That's okay. I was going to say again, thanks to Chris Moses for organizing and putting together this fabulous GT2 car pack. He does as well a job on the GT1 car pack as well. So thanks again, Chris, for all these beautiful cars and great liveries on them.
last season we saw the Lambos, both Michelin and Pirelli shod Lambos, dominate most of the season. Doesn't look like it's going to be a one-horse race, so to speak, with that one type of car. I think things are a little more evened out for this season. I haven't seen really any one particular car excel over everything else, but we shall see soon enough.
Yeah, well, like they say, Al, a lot of it is the Indian and not so much the Aero. And yeah, we had a surprising pick from Aaron Parsons, I'd say. Well, relatively surprising. He's in that Viper competition coupe. He's very happy in that car. But I think I don't know if it got some suspension upgrades or not. But that car appears to be very quick, and if Aaron picks it, with his penchant for checking out these cars and doing testing, it's going to be a fast one. So.
Jens was up over half a second here in sector 2. He's looking to be on provisional pole. So,
yeah, I think he's going to eclipse Bjornstein here out.
So there you have it, Jens with a 207 flat provisional pole. Now on board with Marco Conti. Marco in the Lamborghini, Pirelli shod Lambo.
Yeah, and Marco Conti teaming up with Kenny Mervin here this season. Kenny will be coming up here in just another couple drivers for his pole lap. And the vaunted Lamborghini these guys are in this season. Nothing was taken away from that Lamborghini, so we know it's still going to be a real strong runner this season as well. Really a car for...
Marco had to go down an extra gear, but is a little behind there and set the one a little over attack. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, well, I'll just switch tangents and say, that Jens pole lap is really not too bad. An 07 flat might start him around 15th or so, somewhere around there. So Marco is not going to have any... he's going to have to get... Oh, and he makes another mistake out.
Yeah, that's a mistake he does not want to make there for sure. You get out.
Lamborghini will be up.
You run wide on the exit of that corner. It's very hard to get the power down.
Yeah, I was going to say this Lambo will be the best car through that carousel, probably in the whole car pack. Very strong performer on the downforce section.
So as you see, that cost Marco quite a bit of time. He's down. It's over a second here. Just second 2.
Yeah, he's got that set up pretty loose, but I also see him pushing pretty hard there on entry as well, and kind of washing that front end out. So pushing a little hard here, knowing that he's got to push for time.
That's going to slot him into P3 currently. David Pohl. David Pohl had the first overall pick going into this season, and looking for some big things from David. David and his teammate Andrew Warner taking home the GT1 team championship last season. David contended for the driver's title a couple seasons back, and David getting the car he wants this season, picking #1 overall. So we should see Dave fighting for this title this season.
Yeah, like a lot of our contenders in GT2 last season, we had a lot of guys experience bad luck. David Pohl is no different. But, obviously the guy is very fast and again teamed up with So Long. That is going to be a strong team this season. This Audi R8 is also a very strong car. Will be a good performer not only here at Road America, but almost every track we go to this season. So those guys are in good shape. I look forward to seeing what they got.
Dave will be a contender for pole here tonight. He's already up half a second through sector 1. Looking very good so far. Let's see how he handles the carousel. Keeping his foot on the throttle, never really getting off of it. Back on the throttle, so Dave looking really good through the carousel.
Not only that, but holding a pretty tight line through there as well, Al.
Should be a very good time. As long as he nails these last couple sections, and he's up over 8 tenths. Going into Canada.
Yeah, coming into the critical. Sector 3 here, Al. This is a sector that you really have to push and take some risks on if you want that time, but it's also possible to make some mistakes through here too. Easy to put the car off track when you're really pushing for time. Here he comes.
Yeah, he really had to, he breathed it a little bit on exit of the final corner. Let's see where Dave ends up. Should be in the 205.
Might be a low 05.
Ooh, Dave, 206.
No. Well, I think that's going to be a little slower than, yeah, what he'd like.
Puts him on provisional pole, 206.3. A little surprised by that. Kenny swerving Marvin. Taking to the track.
And that sister Lambo of Marco Conti's teammate there.
I should mention, I mean, there is quite a bit of pressure on these guys to perform. Obviously, single lap, all eyes are on you. And not only do you have the guys waiting to go out watching you, but you got people on the broadcast watching you, so nerves can't play a factor.
Yeah, you bet. Well, that's what makes it so fun as well. I know I enjoy it when I get a chance to go out there and get a few extra butterflies running around it, and then to actually come through and put down that good lap, it's a good feeling. So hope these guys just go out there and have fun with it and try to push for what they got and keep it on track.
So Kenny a little behind in sector 1. Good through the carousel. Kenny runs broke a little too deep there going into Canada corner. Kenny pushing a little too hard.
Not the time Kenny Mervin was looking for there, Al.
Nope, with a 2:13.5.
Well, he is in the field, Al.
He certainly is. As John Wilson takes to the track in the BMW Z4.
Yeah, John Wilson, and big slide going there into turn 1. John Wilson, an independent driver, is not teamed up with anybody in that Yokohama-clad Z4. Got quite a variety of GT2 cars here, all very well balanced in terms of speed and performance and grip, depending on which car you got. And true also for tire manufacturers. These Yokohamas perhaps don't have as good dry weather grip as some, but will perform very well in the rain. And that's the way we like it. Keep things mixed up, but yet balanced.
Yeah, we have quite a few more cars this season on yokes, and it does make for a pretty diverse grid as far as tires go. Got Michelin, Pirelli, Yokohama, and Dunlops, I believe. So.
Yep. John Wilson getting his feet wet a little bit here toward the end of last season. And here now for a full-time ride. And I got to tell you, John showed some speed. Not showing so much here at the moment, but showed some speed and having the potential of some consistent point finishes there. So we'll see what John's first full season here brings him. I suspect he could be earning himself a few points here towards that championship this season.
Yeah, he's looking pretty tidy in those last few sections, and as he approaches the main straight.
Yeah, I took a few turns in this car, Al. It did have to be set up pretty loose. I see John Wilson's pretty loose himself running around this track here.
So John currently 5th with a 2:12. Jack Ivy in the Ferrari 430 this season.
Yeah, another good-looking Ferrari.
This car was picked very early, much to the surprise of a lot of the teams. It's a good car. They liked it, so they picked it.
Yeah, and you got to run what you're comfortable with, and this car will be a good performer at any track it goes to. So there's no reason not to pick it. And Jack teamed up, of course, this season with Jared Keane, and hey, I kind of like this team now. Jared is picking up some speed. Jack always finishes, keeps it on track. Yeah, why not? You know, these guys have a chance to get themselves some team points this year as well.
Yeah, Jared, looking for a little bit more from Jared this season. He has shown some signs of pace last season, both in GT1 and GT2. So for him to finish a little further up this season, I think he had a few instances where he was running very well and then ran into some bad luck. But sometimes that's what it's good.
Well, I know one or two of those, I'm sure, were just a matter of experience for Jared. We'll see him coming up here before the end as well. Of kind of running towards the front and handling the pressure of some of those fast guys being around you. And hey, if you get to be one of those fast guys, well, you're just going to have to learn to deal with that.
Jack Ivy, slightly wide on the exit of Canada, but didn't hurt him too bad. This should put him right around 6th to 7th. P5 with a 2:09.5, so good job by Jack Ivy.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to see that 08 by Jack, but an 09 is not too bad for Jack, so good run for him.
Sean Dees, his first full season here, I believe, at GT2. Teamed up with Tony Atkins and the Mustang FR500.
Yeah, Sean also joining us late last season, but here now in that Mustang, like you say, and Sean does have some pace. We'll see how the season shakes out and how he handles the rigors of a 10-race season, but certainly has shown some pace. So this is a real wild card. We'll see. I'm real interested in seeing how he manages this season.
So far, looking pretty decent. About under a second and a half off in Sector 1. Tony Atkins unable to attend tonight's Super Pole event, but he will be back next week.
Very good. Yeah, I'm a little surprised actually to see Sean a bit that far off the pace. No question this guy is going to get some points this season. The only question is how many and how many times he might factor in and pushes into the top 10 here.
Very good through Carousel.
Yeah, and I'd have to say relative to the field, the Mustang probably has dropped performance a little bit with the Lamborghini's introduction and these types of things. But still going to be a good, strong performer at most tracks I go to.
Sean looking pretty clean. This should put him in the top 5 provisionally.
Yeah, got around the last corner relatively well. Didn't use as much of the track I would like to have seen, but gave it a nice aggressive entry and a good run up the hill here.
Sean, I believe, participated in your school, right?
Sean did indeed, and I have to say, along with all our guys, did a fantastic job. Sean, like all of them, showed marked improvement over the course of our classes, and I expect good things from those guys this season, and I look forward to it. I know that those results are going to pick up.
So Sean qualifies at P5. Now we got Lou Mascarelli here in the other Lamborghini.
Yeah, Lou once again teamed up with Johnny Lugnuts. This is always a wild card team. I just have a feeling now that they are going to put in some finishes this year. I just have a feeling now. Not so sure they're going to make a run at this team title. That's pretty tough to do, but I have a feeling both Lou and Johnny are going to find themselves in some good finishing positions this season.
So Lou only a half second off in Sector 1, so Lou showing some pace here early on. Looking very good.
Yep, Lou, another member of our driving school this season, like everybody else, showed marked improvement in some of those already good driving skills. So
I'll tell you what, of all the people who have probably benefited the most from your driving school, Lou has got to be up near the top.
yeah, 1.3 off is going to put him in pretty good shape. That Lambo is really a good performer here in this last sector. So see if Lou can keep it together, stay aggressive on those entries and exits.
That'll put Lou in P3. A lot of 208s right now, but Lou currently the best of the 08s.
Best of the 08s, that's right. And, you know, good for just outside of what would be our points finishing position in 16th. So, good run for Lou. And here's Gup.
Gup Douglas. BMR Racing and the BMW B6 Alpina. How much different is this car compared to the M3, Brad? Have you tested?
I haven't had a chance to run the I haven't had a chance to run the Alpina very much, Al. So I can't say. I am doing my laps here through this GT2 car pack, but as you know, there are a lot of them. So it takes a little while, but the BMWs, I believe, are relatively close in performance overall, as are most of the cars in this GT2 car pack. So
yeah, the car pack is quite extensive this season. Gup is a little off in Sector 1, but I should say the GTR2 community has been pumping out a lot of great cars for us to take advantage of here. It's great to see.
yeah, absolutely, Al. And GTR2, of course, is still going strong, at least for us, and will be that way until we get another strong sim. But in the meantime, you know, we'll continue to put out this. I mean, these car packs, in my opinion, are some of the best out there.
So Guppa not losing much time there in Sector 2, so Gup had a very good second sector.
Yeah, and Chris, Gup's teammate, is going to set up for that carousel section, knowing how critical these last two sectors are. So Gup will have benefit of that, no question. Gup is almost sniffing around the 207s. Oh, close.
Up with a 208 flat.
And that is a pretty good time for the Gupper. That 08 flat is not going to do anything to hurt that team.
Jared Keane now taken to the circuit. Well, we got some time. I'd like to say hi to Andres Cole, who's watching, and he's going by the name of Bandit from Germany, also watching here tonight. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Jared Keane.
Well, here's the
heading into sector, the end of the first sector half. Let's see how he shapes up. Too bad, about 7/10 off. Provisional pole.
Well, that David Poole time there at the top at a 2 minute 6 second .3 is going to be that's a pretty darn fast time. I would suspect that the pole winner will be somewhere in the high 04s. So it's going to be tough to get down to that time until we start getting a little closer to the top of the time chart. But Jared put in a good first sector there.
And again, Jared at the lift a little bit going through that fast kick. It's going to cost him some time. Second off.
Yeah, a little not too clean through there on that last corner out, but we'll be able to sneak into the 08s here.
207.
Ah. Very nice.
207.8. So Jared Keane currently in third. It's Brian Story now taking on the track. And the other Mustang, Michelin shod Mustang. Hey, while we got some time here, I want to just congratulate this past weekend. We had a 24-hour web endurance race at Le Mans. We had fielded 2 teams, NAGP did, and the P1 class and GT1. And our GT1 class finishing on the podium. This is against drivers from all over the world, teams from all over the world. And just want to congratulate those guys who finished third: Tiago Canola, Aaron Parsons, Sol Long, David Rowley, John Wathen, and leaving anybody out, Brad? And GT1.
Al, I'm sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. I was unable to
Rich Roman.
to attend
Rich Roman also participated. Both Aaron and Tiago running 2 stints each, both 3 hours long. So they drove a total of 6 hours each of them. And started off a little rough with Rowley and John Watson having some incidents and finishing. They started off the event, so we were in 15th after the first 2 stints, and those guys battled back to take the 3rd spot on the podium. So big congratulations to those guys, and amazing piece of driving by those guys.
Yeah, and what a team effort, and congratulations as well to them. Great comeback. And the P1 guys also put in a great effort as well, having trouble early themselves, but holding position from then on in a car that was a little down on pace to the rest of that field. So that's a lot of fun. Congratulations to those guys, and that podium. We've been seeking that one, Al, in that 24-hour web race for a while, and nice to finally get one.
Yeah, some of those teams have guys that are just incredibly quick, as Brian Story slots in 9th with a 209.2. Salem Montgomery Jr. and the Jag right-hand drive Jag. So Salem looking to compete in his first full GT2 season.
Yeah, Salem as well, a relative latecomer there, halfway through last season, and is actually an independent as well. Does not have a teammate this season yet, anyway.
I'll tell you
but
what,
Salem did show some pace.
He certainly did, and it's good to see this Jag on track. I believe it's the XKR, if I recall.
It is indeed, Al. XKRS.
But going back to the 24-hour race, Salem's about just under a second and a half out inside the one. P1 class, we have Robert Firacano, Gup Douglas. I know Dave Canavan participated. Gup unfortunately had disconnected from his race. We were keeping track of the stats and watching the standings, watching the race live. Darrell Russell also competed, and Marty Aaron, I believe, participated in P1. So if I left anybody out, I'm sorry.
David Canavan as well.
Yep, Canavan, I think I mentioned him, but good effort by all those guys, and Salem about 2 seconds off. Word is this was their last time. They're going to be doing it in GT2, in GTR2, I should say. So a good last hurrah by NAGP GT1 class.
It really was. I was really disappointed not to be able to make or be involved in that event, but at the same time, maybe my not being there helped them get that podium. So
they were driving
always well.
They were driving an Aston Martin DBR9, and Salem finishes with a 2:09 flat to bump up story to 10th. Then Salem starts in the Mike Matrix. Mike and the Gumper.
Yeah, and this is going to be a good car, good all-around car this season. Mike Graytrix as well, involved in the driving school, showed some marked improvement. And, you know, teammate of Curtis Chandler, who we're going to see coming up here after a bit. Curtis was running some pretty darn... Pushing hard, Al.
Pushing a little too hard.
Pushing hard and... good aggressive line there, though, Al. Can't fault the guy for laying it out there on the line and going for it. And you know, sometimes you push over the edge.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But Mike gonna finish his lap as keep in mind this Super Pole lap does count towards the competition index. So if that's something you're shooting for, you want to finish your Super Pole lap.
Yeah, and I was going to mention Mike's teammate Curtis Chandler. He was showing some pretty strong times there in practice, so it'll be interesting to see what Curtis has got here. Shoot, I'm wondering if you might be able to clip a top 10 starting position here for our qualifying race. Yeah, another good all-around car here. This Gumpert, it perhaps doesn't have the power, but it's pretty good in all facets. Its fuel economy is not as good as you'd like to see, but other than that, it doesn't have the best top speed power, doesn't have the best handling, but it's got above average about on everything. So.
Aaron, do you copy?
Hey Al, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Just want to get your thoughts heading into tonight's Super Bowl. How you feeling in that Viper?
Viper feels great. Just feels really good to be back in the Viper after so many seasons not driving it.
That's Kevin Miller currently
has
on
the
go ahead.
Has great speed potential. It's just a matter of the driver unlocking it.
What do you think the difference is between the Viper of this car pack and previous incarnations?
Well, it has the two-splitter now, so it got considerably more front downforce than it used to have. So it's a lot better handling than it used to be.
Yeah, that's a pretty deadly combination there. As I know we had a chance to talk a little bit while you guys were doing your testing, and you were pretty fond of the Panos as well, and we see Nick Johnston up there running some of those really fast times in that Panos. You have any regrets about maybe passing up on that thing?
Yeah. After seeing the times that he's doing, I'm a little bit regretful that we didn't test it more. I definitely thought it was a very fast car.
As Kevin is the second off David Pohl's provisional lap, so Kevin Miller looking pretty good here in the Mustang. So what are you hoping, what kind of lap time you hoping to set here in Super Pole? What are you aiming for?
Hopefully a sub 6.
Well, we saw Nick in the 204s. You think you can touch his lap time?
I would have to get a perfect lap to get in the 4s. And, it's quite tricky around this track to pull the trigger on one lap, so anything in the 5s I think I'll be okay.
Well, as your teammate takes to the track now, I want to wish you good luck, Ezra, and good luck tonight and the rest of the season. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, Al. Thanks for doing the broadcast again, Al and Brad.
Good luck, buddy. Yeah, so John Houston, Aaron's teammate, and also multiple season teammate here. It's as like some of these faster guys seem to always pick up new teammates, but Ezra must really like John to have that pairing continue here. So I think John and Ezra might be looking to do something this year, team championship wise. And John looking quite good early on through the first sector.
He is looking very good. And I might add, you know, John had a very good season 2 seasons ago. Last season he struggled quite a bit, so probably one he'd like to forget. And a car, as he has a bit of a slide in the approach to the carousel, but as another guy with what would call for his standards, a disappointing season driving the Corvette, but John in particular struggled in that car.
Yeah, and again, very interesting. Aaron did have a couple disconnects, but you know, when he did not show great pace out there on track in that Corvette. So that was quite a shock for Aaron. But you know what? Everybody has those types of seasons, and if you don't have them occasionally, then it wears off a little bit of that competitive those competitive juices. So I'm sure he's got them back, and he's looking to make a statement this season. Oh, big.
Runs pretty wide there in the final corner, so John looks like he's pushing quite a bit here, but see what he ends up. Looks like a 208 and change.
Yeah, and some of that lap looked pretty ragged, Al, so I think John's going to be happy overall with a 085. I think that lap could have been quite a bit worse. So
yep. Currently in P8. Mikey Monahan in the SLS Mercedes.
Yeah, nice car, Al.
I thought his teammate wasn't here, but Esteban is here. So let's see how Mikey motors along here in this Mercedes.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a nice car, pretty good handler. Doesn't have the best aerodynamic downforce, but runs strong, runs pretty fast. And this may not be its best track, but over the course of the season, it will have a great chance to score some points.
One of the best sounding cars in the pack for sure, and also one of the coolest looking cars on the downshifts as the exhaust exit from right in front of the doors.
Sounds nice too, Al.
This is first split time, Brad. Did you catch that?
I'm sorry, Al. I missed it. I was doing some research.
Well, it looked pretty good. Mikey was looking pretty decent here in sector 1. We'll see how it shapes up here at the exit at the end of sector 2. So it looks pretty decent through the carousel. See if he can hold it flat.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I'd say so, Al.
Oh,
yeah, nice looking split time.
Mikey may have a shot at provisional pole here. Let's keep it together, Mike. See how he does here.
Yeah, I think they...
Go ahead.
David Poole put in a pretty good third sector time, so if these guys want to beat that, they're going to have to start upping their game here in this third sector.
Oh, Mikey looking really, really tight. Really nice through the last couple sections. This could be provisional pole.
That could be close, Al. Oh!
Just off, only a tenth. Actually, just under 2/10 off there. So Mikey currently in P2 as Sol One takes to the track. A great lap by Mikey Monahan in that Mercedes. Sol, David Poole's teammate. Sol could have a shot here at provisional pole. We'll have to see how he looks here through sector 1. Sol's a guy who has improved dramatically. Not that he was slow at any point, but he's become a lot more consistent, finishing well in the points. So, like you said earlier, it could be a pretty good tandem this season. A threat for the team championship.
Yeah, well, the thing that's so great about had a little slide there from Sol. The great thing about not only Sol but David Poole, his teammate, is they're generally on track and in the points someplace on a race-to-race basis. That's what you need to win a team championship. And you're right, Sol has picked up his consistency. Sol has also picked up a little bit on his lap-to-lap pace, which has already started off pretty good. So here, about 3 or 4 seasons in, Sol is starting strong. This is a definite contender for the team title this season.
Ooh, using all that corner and going through the kink. Sounded like he had to lift a little bit. He's off just under a second and a half.
Yeah, I had a pretty ragged first sector there, Al, but oh.
Canada corner, not good for Sol, so this is going to cost him a bit.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of entry oversteer on that car. I can see they're really trying to loosen it up to gain best advantage here for over the course of 1 lap. But Sol's just pushing a little over that edge.
I got to commend the guys so far for making it a smooth running Super Pole event so far.
Yeah, indeed. You know, we had one guy spin off, but everybody's been at least keeping it on track and putting in their best efforts tonight.
So yeah, once the guy starts his pole lap, the next guy in line is waiting at the pit exit to go. It's been pretty smooth sailing so far. Simon Goodwin now in the other McLaren, Michelin Shot McLaren.
Yep. Cider Racing once again teamed up. And they've got a obviously proven pretty fast car here at that McLaren Michelin shod entry.
For big things from these guys this season.
It's a possibility, Al.
We're looking for some consistency. And some great team points. As both of them show.
Yep,
Both
consistency.
Simon and his teammate have both shown good pace the last couple seasons.
Yeah, teammate Drew Lidke not here tonight, unfortunately, but you're absolutely right. If they get that consistency down, they're going to be scoring some team points, possibly even a threat to make some noise in that classification. Got to keep it on track, boys. Using all the road.
Simon 1.2 seconds off in Sector 2. Pretty good looking lap there.
Yeah, 1.2 off in the second sector and 1.2 off in the last, so a very strong third sector will earn him a good spot here for qualifying.
Currently in fourth. Christian Hamilton.
Teamed up with the former GT2 drivers champion, David Canavan now.
That's correct. He's in the Pirelli Shod 458.
Yeah, another Ferrari entry of the four specific Ferraris we've got out there, Al.
Christian drove the Patrol Ferrari last season.
Yeah, indeed, Al. And posted some nice results, it has to be said as well.
He certainly did, and guys in the league are prone to give those individuals who pick the same cars back-to-back seasons good-natured ribbing, we should say. As Christian with a good first sector, he's under 2/10 off, so it's going to be a pretty decent lap for Christian. Up in Sector 2 by over a second. So this could be a provisional pole lap for Christian.
Yeah, that Ferrari really showing its legs to the go.
A bit of tire spin on the exit of Canada, so that might have cost them his provisional pole. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it certainly will, Al. That speed coming out of there sets you up for the whole rest of the third sector, but he'll hang on and still post a pretty good time here.
P3.
Yeah, that could have been much worse. It's actually quite a bit better than I expected. I expected more in the high 06 range. So yeah, nice finish after that mistake.
Eric Marecki now on track. Also in the 458, Jens Klempnauer's teammate. Calling him Jens for a couple seasons now, and we've been calling him by the wrong first name, Brad. It's Jens. Pronounce your J like a Y.
We have, and apologize, Jens, for that mispronunciation. But you know, and Jens, we saw, we're a little surprised. I was anyway by his 07 flat time. So let's see if Eric, who he knows got some speed, can equal that or better it.
Eric under half a second off in Sector 1. You know what? looking at, I don't see, I saw him doing practice work, and I don't see Michael Rashad here tonight.
Oh! That's right, I saw him out there as well, Al. May not have been able to make the, yeah.
Michael typically has his cheering section here, watching on NAGP TV, but not so tonight. Eric Marecki still looking pretty decent, only 6/10 off in after Sector 2, so this could find him in the top 3.
Indeed, and has been turning better sector times than his teammate Yen, so we should expect this lap to be somewhere in the 06s.
P4 for Eric, so nice lap.
Well, we're closing in on the meat of the order here, Al. Got over half our guys.
Definitely approaching the heavy hitters here, as Johnny Lucknuts now takes to the track to start his hot lap. And the Lambo.
Yep, teammate Lou Mascarelli, of course, turned in that 08.3, and Johnny would like to try to get ahead of that time. Nice entry and exit there off turn 2. Kind of a tricky corner. You always want to brake a little later than it seems like you can there. Easy to outbrake oneself. Not been quite aggressive enough there on braking there in 3.
Yeah, a little surprised by that first sector time. He's, you're right, looking a little tentative there by Johnny, but 1.2 seconds off after sector 1.
All right, nothing tentative about that corner. Yeah, Johnny running a kind of some shallow lines around here. I'm not sure how much track time Johnny's got here, but pick it up.
Johnny, that could have been ugly.
I think the pressure is getting the Johnny Lugnuts here a little bit, Al.
Ooh, a big lurch. He's over 2 seconds off, so a little surprising to see that from Johnny.
Kind of feeling the heat. Get those palms a little damp here, Al. Sliding on that steering wheel a little bit. I'm going to take a very short break. I will be back directly.
So Johnny to P19. Shocking. Now Kurt Chandler taken to the track, and the number Apollo. As Brad mentioned earlier, Kurt running some very quick times here in practice, so we should see, barring any unforeseen problems from Kurt, he should post a pretty decent time here. Kurt teamed up with Jack Ivey. Which is a heavy braking zone here at the end of the second long straight. Another corner that entices you to brake a lot deeper than you may like, but Kurt only half a second off here after sector 1. As we stay on board with Kurt. So kept his foot in it there. Kurt looking pretty decent as he approaches the critical carousel section. hard on the throttle. Keeps it flat through the kinks. So this is a pretty good looking lap for Kurt. Only 6/10 off. So Kurt having a shot currently at the top 5. Final corner. Let's see what Kurt ends up here. Very nice exit. So Kurt's looks like he's still on pace for a good lap. To P5. So nice lap by Kurt. Lost a little time there in the back. 2:07 flat for Kurt. So nice job. Dave Canavan now in the other 458. Christian Hamilton's teammate. Canavan, a threat for the pole, so we should see a pretty decent lap here for David. Typically does very well here in Super Pole.
I'm back, Al. I've actually been commenting a bit here, but had my mute on the microphone.
Yep, that's not going to work. So Canavan looking.
Yeah.
Ooh, runs a little wide there, but that shouldn't hurt him too bad.
I was a little surprised to see David Canavan down a little bit in the order of our practice times there. So.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised as well. He's currently about 4/10 off. He was 4/10 off in Sector 1.
Looks like they stripped quite a bit of the rear aero off that car, trying to really maximize its turn through this sector here.
They're keeping it flat. Kink. Picks up a little bit of time now, only 3/10 off, provisional pole.
Not too surprising, and David can get it. Yeah, he can get it done here in the 3rd sector.
Definitely can. Very nice through Canada corner. Ooh, a little bit of a lurch, so that's going to cost him a little bit of time. You can see
it might not cost him that much, Al. He really was able to keep the power to her, and that may not affect his time.
Yeah, he did keep his footing for sure. Ooh, and to P3, so you're right. He did pick up more time in the final sector, but nice lap by Canavan. Esteban Palacio. Mikey Monahan's teammate, who's currently in P4, I believe. I'm sorry, Mikey's in
P2, Al.
Sorry about that. So
yeah, Esteban, always a... sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was going to say Esteban Palacio, always a wild card here in these races. Always a... well, you never know where the guy's going to end up. It could be first or, you know, who knows. So an interesting team mix, always a fun one. And you got it, you know, if nothing else, these guys are going to go for it. So a fun team to watch this season.
Yeah, Esteban definitely has a shot at pole. He's certainly quick. And he's only 2/10 off here in Sector 1.
Yeah, this is a car that is going to tend to have better first sector on this particular track than it's going to have the last couple. But we'll see if through setup they're able to get that thing to turn well through these twisties and pick up some of that time.
You know what, Este's looking very good. He may have been able to pick up a little time here, and he does. He's only 1/100th of a second back. approaches Canada corner. This car's got a ton of power. He can make it up in that final straight.
Yeah, I sure can, Al.
A bit of a lift.
A little bit wide there.
Like
Just a touch of entry oversteer, set the car up. Yep. You smoking, Al? Kill the mosquito.
To pole, Esteban with a 206.2, bumping David Pole to second. So he beats out David by just over a tenth. So great job. Now Sam Rolfe, I mentioned earlier, this is a guy showing some quick times in practice in the Panos.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. The Panos is obviously suiting Sam, and he'd like nothing more than to really put in some strong finishes here. Don't know exactly what happened, but teamed up with Tiago Canola last season, and not so much this one. So, new teammate, new car, and maybe a new Sam.
It's looking that way so far.
Really impressive practice time Sam laid down. So, let's see if he can handle the pressure of the Super Pole.
So far, he's looking pretty good, and he's up in sector 1. This is great to see. So far, he hasn't let the nerves get the better of him. He's looking, this is shaping up to be a pretty good lap, Brad.
Yeah, everything has been very clean out. We'll see what kind of pace the Panos has through this very aero downforce section. That might be pretty good. Yes,
Loses
indeed.
a little bit of time, but still not that far off.
Yeah, very strong, consistent lap here, Al. I like what I see him from Sam.
Nice exit. He could take it. Ooh, the P3. Sam with a 206.4, bumping Mikey Monahan to 4th. Great lap by Sam. Tremendous job.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Well, now we're into the section here. Over our last 7 drivers here, the pole is going to come from one of these guys. So this is where they're either going to be going big or going home, Al. This is for all the marbles. We've got to lock in those first 2 spots. And we'll see who's got the goods and who's going to be making the mistakes out there.
And here we go, season 17 champion Tiago Canola carrying weight after a car switch in the Porsche.
Yeah, and that weight we noticed did not hurt Tiago much last season. However, it will hurt him here in this car on this track. So he will be slowed a bit more than he would be otherwise.
Down a little bit in sector 1.
Yeah, but you know what, Al? That's not actually that bad. Yeah, that's not actually that bad in this relatively low-powered car through that first sector.
Tiago teamed up this season with
Oh, shoot, I just had it up, Al.
Tiago losing.
Gregory Myers, of course.
Sorry, Greg Myers, yes. Tiago lost a bunch of time. He's a second and a half off in sector 2. So, as you mentioned, that weight is playing a factor.
Yeah, well, and it's the weight combined with the low fuel. This is pure speed based on these cars. However, Thiago did make some type of mistake. Everything looked relatively clean, but there was some mistake that he made out there because that was a big time loss. So some type of problem we couldn't notice on camera.
Yeah, definitely lost a second there after sector 2 and finishes in 13th. So now we have Ian Jolicoeur taken to the track in the Aston Martin. Ian, season 17 team champion with Kung Fu Racing. Ian and Marty Urin.
Yeah, it was a great season for these guys. They simply didn't make hardly any mistakes over the course of the season. Ian has a schedule which doesn't allow him to make every race, so they got the substitute drivers, got those in line when they needed to, and came home with that championship. And it's about time.
Ian, a police officer when he's not racing.
So we know these guys have the pace. We know the car's good. And let's see this first split time here.
He's up big.
Nice.
3/10. Ian, obviously.
Good power from that.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Ian, obviously a threat for pole every week. And he's showing that here tonight.
Yeah, big power from that Aston Martin. We'll see how it handles the twisties around here. I'm kind of curious about it, to tell you the truth. I didn't expect that Mercedes of Esteban and Mikey to perform so well around here, so maybe the Aston will do a little bit better than I expect.
Pretty good. He should still be up. He is, but he lost a little bit of time in the middle part of the track.
Didn't give up too much.
Not too much. So he's up just over 1/10 of a second.
So the first guy into the 05s is really going to be putting some heat on the rest of these guys here. Every single one of these guys left can make it to the 05s, but the first one there is going to have the advantage, and see if the other guys can not make a mistake and still turn in those 05s.
I think he might have lost a little bit of time there in that last sector. Oh, I'm wrong. To provisional pole with the 2:05.6. He actually made up a ton of time. So great lap by Ian.
Yeah, so we saw our best time at an 0.48. And when you start getting down to, 3, 4, 5/10 of a second of having to push, that starts to get close. That kind of wears on the nerves of having to make some good lines and a good, clean, aggressive entries, and the pressure goes up, Al.
It certainly does. Now Chris Moses takes to the track in the BMW B6 Alpino. Chris obviously is familiar with the BMW, has won a championship, I believe, in the M3 as he runs wide. So Chris really pushing hard, but you suspect this to be a different car than in the past, than what he's accustomed to, I should say.
Yeah, well, and there you go. Coming down late here, going for this pole to lock in this first spot, you got to push, and that's probably going to do it for. Oh, okay. Well, I take it back.
It didn't cost him much time at all, as he's up in sector 1 by 0.07 of a second.
I can tell you that there is not going to be another car on this circuit here tonight. These drivers are driving that will be as loose as this BMW is at the moment. Chris Moses likes them that way.
Back on the power. Stays flat through the kink. Let's see how he ends up in sector 2, and he's up big by 0.03 of a second. I'm sorry, 0.3 of a second.
Well, it comes down to last sector, Al.
Hard on the brakes.
Looked a little shaky.
Yep. And a bit of a lurch there, but I don't think it cost him too much time, if any.
Yeah, hard to say. It's hard to gauge how well Ian's last stint went there, but we'll find out right here.
And he takes it to provisional pole with a 2:05.3.
This is really going to put the heat on Marty here. I don't know that. I don't know if Marty's going to be able to get down to an 0.53. He's really going to have to get after it here and take some risks, I think.
You know, there's that obvious extra point for taking pole, but you know, as long as you finish first or second, you're guaranteed that starting position for next week's 2-hour endurance race. So these guys are
absolutely out.
Really shooting to finish one of those top 2 spots.
Yeah, but you know what? For these guys here, it's all about the pole, Al. These guys want that point. They want to put themselves out front. They want to say, "I'm the man. Come get me."
Yes, it does come down to bragging rights for some of these guys, for sure. Marty looking pretty good in this Aston, and he's up by a 10th.
Again, that first sector will be the Aston's strong suit. Second only to the 2 drivers we have coming up next in the competition Coupe Viper and the Panos.
Yes, Marty runs a little bit wide there. I don't think that's going to cost him too much time.
Yeah, for the Astons, it's going to be all about getting through this this carousel and kink. If they do that well, they're going to have a chance to put themselves on the front row.
And I feel Marty's going to be up.
There.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Ooh, he lost a bit of time. He's down to 10. Chris Moses must be smiling right now. Ooh, with a bit of a lurch there into Canada. That might have cost him a little bit more time. Bit of a slide.
Yeah, the pressure comes up when you know you have to run within a couple 3/10 of the best time you can do, Al.
I don't think he's got it. Exit time, he's right on 155. I don't think that's going to be enough. No, to P2.
No.
0.05 of a second off, Chris Moses.
Moses still good. Two contestants left.
Yep. As Aaron Parsons now starts his hot lap. Aaron was joined us a little bit earlier talking about his pick here tonight, this Viper, and the added downforce now in this car, making it a much better car to drive.
Yeah, absolutely, Al. And we heard it's going to take a perfect lap for him to dip into the 04s, and he's going to have to come pretty close to that if he wants a chance at pole here.
This is the all-important sector 1 here. Let's see where Aaron, this car should be dynamite in sector 1, those 2 straights, and he's up big, 0.2 of a second. Very nice through there.
Real close to that 04 mark, Al. Really maximizing what he can get out of that Viper, throwing it into the corner, but getting on the power as soon as he can.
Keeps his foot in it. Looks like he's going to be up, and he is by 0.3 of a second.
Didn't hardly lose a thing. The Viper will also struggle a little bit through this sector compared to the other guys.
He has a bit of a lurch there. That may have cost him some time. Have to see how
Viper
much.
could make up for it up this straight.
Absolutely.
Really aggressive entry.
Comes to the start-finish line. No, to P3. Wow. So that cost him.
Gave up a lot of time.
For sure, he lost a lot of time there in Canada. He was up Should have been probably on provisional pole. But here's the guy we got to watch, Nick Johnston, in the 04s in practice. So let's see how he does here in qualifying with all this pressure on him. Fairly new to NAGP.
Yeah, and
go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Nick's not used to perhaps this type of pressure that's put on him. He knows he can run in the 04s, but knowing it and performing under this type of pressure, two different things, Al. Going to be a nerve-wracking lap for him.
Definitely, and he, you know, this isn't his first experience at Super Bowl. He did participate at Spa, but this is his first Super Bowl to show everybody what he's got. And he's up big in Sector 1 by nearly half a second.
Boy, that Panos is really getting around those corners nicely. Wow. I have not tested this car yet. That didn't look particularly great through there, but
I was just going to say the same thing, but that actually might have lost him a bit of time. We'll see here in a second.
Oh, no it didn't.
Oh, I missed that split time. What was he at?
1/2 second better than the field, Al.
Wow. So, Nick, final set of corners here. Very good. Looks like he's going to take this.
Oh, the pressure hasn't gotten to him. Oh, got a little slide in there, but that's not going to be enough to hurt him.
53 on the exit. Looks like he's going to take it.
Yeah, well, stood up to that pressure, Al, and there you go.
Bang! 2:04.6. So Nick Johnston, his first ever pole position here at NAGP in the GT2 class in the Panos. Chris Moses in second. So tremendous job for Nick. We got to hand it to the kid. He came in here and performed under pressure. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
job.
congratulations, Nick. Congratulations to Nick, but you know what? I think Chris Moses is going to be grinning from ear to ear with his locking in his second place start. I don't know that he expected that necessarily, so Chris, also good job to him there in second place. Everybody else going to have to drive themselves into their position.
Absolutely. So Nick and Chris will be starting from their positions here next week, and everybody else, as you said, are going to have to battle for it. So while we have this break here, we got qualifying 2 approaching, so let some guys get back in here, then the warm-up, and then the qualifying race. So while we wait, Brad, I'm just going to take a second here, and I'll be right back.
That up. So, once again, welcome to NAGP TV's live Season 18 coverage of the GT2 Championship. We just finished our Super Pole lap qualifying, and you saw it live here. Nick Johnston really more or less laying a smackdown on the field, taking that pole position by over 0.6 of a second. So good job, Nick Johnston. Chris Moses will start second in our feature race next week, so those 2 positions are locked in. The rest of the field, as mentioned, will have to drive their way into this field. Drew Lidke showed up, so we had a couple of people drop. Drew Lidke, Simon Goodwin's teammate, we were wondering where he might be. He may have dropped during that qualifying session, so he's had a chance to get back in here and participate in the qualifying race. As mentioned, all these other guys will have to drive their way in, and as always, generally a spirited affair. Marty Urin had posted a very nice time just off Chris Moses' second position place, but in any event, we'll have to settle for starting third this qualifying race. Aaron Parsons right behind him. He'll be starting fourth, and Ian Jolicoeur will be fifth. A little bit of time gaps back there in sixth place to Esteban Palacio. But anything could happen in this qualifying race. And only the first 2 guys are assured of their starting spots for next week's feature event. Well, we appreciate all of you tuning in for tonight's broadcast, and we have more excitement coming up for you here. And don't forget, next week we kick off Season 18 officially with our endurance event here at Road America. Not too many surprises out there tonight. Should be noted that Sam Rolfe and Mike Monahan put in very good efforts here. We'll be starting 8th and 9th respectively. Our Drivers' Title Championship winner, David Canavan, will be starting 10th. Perhaps a little further down than he would like to. Tiago Canola has dropped. We didn't see him drop or hear of it during that qualifying session, but he has rejoined the server. Greg Myers as well did not start that qualifying session, but has made it here for a qualifying race. So he'll be joining the grid as well. So unfortunately a few guys have dropped out, and we have switched the session over to warm-up. So 5 minutes of a warm-up session here, and we'll have 2 minutes to line them up on the grid, and off we go. So it's crunch time now. There are championship points awarded for this, not only the qualifying event. Our pole sitter Nick Johnston will collect 1 championship point, but also our top 3 here to finish this night's qualifying race will garner points. First guy to cross the line will collect 3 points. The second one will collect 2, and our third place finisher will collect 1 bonus championship point here tonight. So a little something on the line in addition to that starting position for next week's feature event. Always interesting, these qualifying races, and the mix of patience and aggressiveness these drivers need to have to maximize their starting position next week. Though in our endurance events, it's not necessarily as important, that qualifying spot. Got plenty of time to make up those positions, but always better, of course, to start as far as one can. It surprised me here tonight to see Chris Moses maybe try to get aggressive early and try to pick up some extra championship points. If he can somehow sneak past Nick Johnson for that win here tonight and pick up 3 points, that certainly wouldn't hurt him in the championship going forward. Expect some good action here tonight in this 30-minute sprint race. The gaps toward the front may open up a little bit on this longest track, but at the same time, because it's a long track, we'll see the vast majority of this field finish on the lead lap. And there will be plenty of close battles besides that, as these guys run a full fuel load, and will be able to put in some pretty impressive times over their pure race pace. So we can expect to see lots of scraps. There's a few guys that did drop out during that session, which will take part in the qualifying race. Tiago Canola, Gregory Myers, and Drew Lidke in particular. Johnny Lugnuts as well, who like the opportunity to move up a little bit. So So those guys will be looking to make a move and
Hey, Brad,
trying to get through some traffic.
I heard you mention Tiago's name. Now, refresh my memory again. What car did he originally draft? Do you remember?
No. However, you did mention it at the top of the broadcast. And
let's see. I have it here. Hold on.
thank you.
Okay, yeah, they took one of the Z4s, right?
The Z4 out.
Yeah, they took one of the Z4s. Now, my question to you is, do you think that was the right move to switch to the Porsche from that Z4?
Well, it's hard to say. I did get a few laps in the Z4 around this.
They had the Yokohama shot Z4, the one John Wilson did.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to take that car around this track a little bit, and I liked it, though I have to say it was a little bit off the pace. I don't know if it was one particular track they tested at and didn't like it, or if it was more of an overall season switch. I would suspect, Al, that the Porsche over the course of the entire season for Tiago might have some advantage over that Z4. However, that Z4 is a championship winning car, so it's hard to say what gets into some of these drivers' minds sometimes. Sometimes you just got to go with what you're comfortable with. And apparently they're more comfortable in the Porsche, so more power to them.
And with that switch,
best of luck this season.
You're only allowed one car switch up to the 5th race of the season, and that is it. So once you make your call, you're done. You're stuck with it. So warm-up's about to conclude, and we'll move on to the race and run down your starting order.
Yeah, the pressure of our Super Pole qualifying's over. Now we just have the pressure of the 30-minute sprint race coming up. I'm sure these guys are anxious to get at it. We've had quite a bit of time off here between seasons. We've charged the old batteries, and time to get back at it, Al.
Yeah,
I'm as excited as anyone.
Not exactly sure how many laps we're going to go here. I'm looking around. I'm thinking around 10 to 12. But, you know, don't quote me on that.
Yeah, running laps in the 06 range there for 30 minutes. So yeah, 13 laps, something like that.
Well, here we go. Starting first on pole. His first ever, Nick Johnston. Second, Chris Moses. Marty Aaron third. Aaron Parsons fourth. Ian Jollicoeur fifth.
Excuse me, Al, sorry about that. Esteban Palacio will be starting 6th. David Poole is starting 7th. Sam Rawle put in a nice time for 8th. Mikey Monahan will be starting 9th. And David Canavan is 10th.
Canavan's teammate, Christian Hamilton, 11th. Eric Marecki, 12th. Kurt Chandler, 13th. Jens Klepnow, 14th. 15th. Simon Goodwin.
Kevin Miller, nice time, starts 16th. Jared Keane starts in 17th. Gup Douglas starts 18th. And 19th, Lou Mascarelli. And 20th, Bjorn Himmen.
John Houston, 21. Mark O'Connor, 22nd. Sean Dees, 23rd. Salem Montgomery Jr., 24th. And So Long, 25th.
Brian Story starts from the 26th spot. Jack Ives in 27th. Johnny Lugnut's had a disconnect, starts back there in 28th. Kenny Mervin is in 29th. And Mike Graytrek starts 30th.
Tiago Canola, 31st, suffered a disconnect also. Greg Myers, 32nd, did not partake in Super Pole. Drew Lidgia, 33rd, also a disconnect starting from the back. And it looks like we just lost Greg Myers, so that's it. 30 seconds to go. Do you think there's anything, anybody that can match Nick Johnston here in this qualifying race, Brad? What are your thoughts?
Well, it all comes down to the start. Nick is going to have to get out front if he wants to stay out there, I think. The only way it seems these guys are going to have a shot at him is to get out front, see if he runs into some trouble or makes a mistake out there.
Well, we're about to find out. We got 5 seconds to go. And season 18 is underway. Nick with the slow start, that's going to allow Chris Moses to move out in front, and Aaron Parsons also took advantage, and Nick's quickly going to fall back to fourth as David Pohl is going to overtake. David Pohl with a bit of a tap, but he hung on to it. Not sure who got into the back of it. Nice job by Dave to hang on to it, and remains in third. Yes, looks like Ian Jolicoeur with a nice pass on Nick Johnson. So a lot of guys. So Nick quickly back in fifth spot.
Well, he's got that position locked in. As we mentioned, Al, he will start first in the feature race, but these guys are competitors. They want to get up there. He's going to have to stay patient if he wants to get back in this thing.
He's looking to take that position back from Ian, as Marty is suffering from some serious lag.
Well, that's too bad to see, Al. Looks like he has pulled off track to make sure everybody behind him stays safe.
Nick still remains in P5. Mikey Monahan running at 6th spot. Kurt Chandler moved up to 7th. Great stop for Kurt.
Made a big move up through the field, Al.
Canavan up to 8th. Right behind him, his former teammate Kurt. Let's see if there's any animosity between these two guys after the split. Currently at 12th. Kevin Miller put the pressure on. Esteban has fallen back to 14th. Not sure what happened to Esty, but he's trying to make the pass on the outside. And he looks like he might do it. He does. What a pass by Esteban. Relatively clean lap. A little bit of bumping and grinding there at the start, but that was to be expected.
Yep. Yeah, we had some mid-pack fracas there down at the bottom of the hill. They're in the first sector, but most everybody's continued.
Meanwhile, Chris Moses and Aaron Parsons have pretty much started to check out from the David Pohl, who's currently in third. Ian Jolicoeur remains in fourth. Nick Johnson still in fifth. Monahan not letting these guys get away from him. As Canavan trying to make the move on Chandler, they tap a little bit. Oh, wow. Keep an eye on these guys.
Yeah, Marty Wren has dropped back toward the back of the field, hoping these lag spikes kind of clear up yet. They have not yet, however, so a couple guys still behind them having to take some evasive action occasionally.
So Mikey also had a little bit of a lag situation there.
Quick update out, Tiago Canola has made some good early rapid progress in the field, now running 21st. Johnny Lugnut's started back, now up to 19th.
Meanwhile, up front, Chris Moses continues to lead this race with Aaron Parsons right behind, but I'll tell you what, Aaron doesn't look like he's been able to close the gap up on Chris too much. As Nick Johnson and their battle continues here. Nick couldn't pass going into one. I don't think he's going to be able to hang on to it though, as Ian hangs on to the inside. Ooh, and Nick with the little overrun. Nope. These guys have been battling from the start. As Ian runs a little bit of a slide there going into two.
Ian, I think doing a little mirror driving could cost him.
Ian's really hang on to that position, but so far he has been able to do so as Nick's on the outside going into this corner. Ian hangs on to him. Nick may have him going onto the bridge. And it looks like he's got him. No, actually, I take that back. Ian hangs on to him. This is the battle to watch right now. These guys are going at it. Meanwhile, that's allowed David Paul to stretch his lead a little bit in this battle. And Ian run wide at the kink. Meanwhile, Mikey Monahan has caught up to this battle.
Yeah, this battle will get very interesting if Mikey gets into this mix.
And Canavan as well.
Yeah, both Ian and Nick are likely to have pace on Mike Monahan, but they get battling too much, and he'll certainly be right there.
Nick looking on the outside into one. He tried the same move last time, but didn't seem to work. See if he makes a move on the inside. Well, very good job of driving by Nick. Hanging on to the inside where he wants to be. Wow, these guys are really going at it. As Nick now on the outside going on the bridge. Nick may have finally made the move, and he does. Tremendous job by Nick. But Ian now looking on the outside. Sorry, the inside. It's in the back of Nick a little bit. Now Mikey all over the back of Ian. Mikey looking on the inside. So wow, these guys really going at it as Ian again runs wide through the kink. Now Nick has really put some distance between himself and Ian as Mikey gets into the side of Ian. That's going to allow Canavan to get past. Wow. Ferocious action.
Ian's still not quite settled, I don't think, after that skirmish there with Nick, but stay out front here for a couple laps. I think they'll be able to regain his composure.
Monahan looking to get a draft off that Ferrari. He does. Let's see if Mikey can hang on to that. Wow, these guys are really tight. Kurt Chandler in this mix, as well as Sam Rolfe. As Canavan muscles his way by Mikey Monahan, and Kurt Chandler gets by as well. Sam Rolfe looking on the inside of Mikey, and Mikey has lost 3 positions in one corner. Gets it back from Sam, however.
Yeah, well, good driving by those guys. That had disaster written all over it, but everyone got through cleanly.
Christian Hamilton also in this, so this battle from 5th to 10th is incredible. And now Esteban has worked his way up to 11th after falling way back. Just making the move on Simon. Wow. Further back, Kevin Miller now with So Long. So Long looking to make the move on Kevin. Ooh, and Sol gets a little loose, and that may allow Jared Keane to get by. Johnny Lugnut's currently at 16th. Anderson back in 19th, Trulenkia 20th. And Tiago still back there in 21st. Started right near the back. Salem Montgomery Jr. back in 26th. Jack Abbey 27th. Jack looks like he's missing his rear bumper. Eric Marecki has fallen back to 28th. Not sure what happened to Eric. Lap now at 29th. Jens also way back from his start position.
Yes, Jens too.
Apologize, Jens. So meanwhile, Chris Moses and Aaron Parsons still running 1 and 2. Chris still hanging on to that lead, though, as Aaron's starting to reel him in a little bit. David Paul currently running 3rd. He's got Nick Johnson now. Johnston, I should say. Really trying to... Nick is really trying to reel in David Paul here, and it looks like he may.
Yeah, well, he's got enough time compared to the type of pace he was showing, so I think he's definitely going to have a shot, as Aaron does go for the lead, and he is going to take it over.
Well, Chris Moses on the outside.
Momentarily.
Yeah, it's a tough. Chris looks like he's going to hang on to it. No, it's going to be close.
Oh, that's a tough corner to go side by side through.
They still continue to go side by side. It looks like Aaron's going to possibly take it. Nope. Moses hangs on.
Aaron's
Great job.
Yeah, Aaron's going to have to give it up to the carousel here. He just needs to stay close to Chris coming up that front straight. Aaron coming down that back straight, if he can be in front of Moses, he will stay in first place. But good battle for the lead shaping up between these two NAGP veterans and holders of more championships combined than the whole rest of the league.
Well, the two guys that struggled the most last season find themselves battling for the first and second spot here in the Super Bowl qualifying race. So, interesting how things shape up after a season, huh?
Yeah, indeed, Al.
As Nick Johnston now has made his way onto the back of David Pohl by about a second now, so.
Yeah, picked up about 2 seconds in a lap and a half, Al. That's a lot of pace.
He's definitely flying. Meanwhile, Ian now has, looks like he's regained his composure a little bit and is now in 5th place. He's got a second lead over Dave Canavan. And I'll tell you what, Kurt Chandler running 6th. And that Gumper looking good.
Yeah, he's been running an extremely tidy race. I've been checking in with him, been staying out of trouble, and 7th place is a strong run for Kurt.
Esteban running 11th. Ooh, as Christian has a bit of a slide, but looks like, ooh, and someone just blew up! I don't know.
Oh, Mikey Monahan.
Mikey Monahan has blown the engine on that Mercedes. Wow.
Yeah, tough break.
We haven't seen that in quite some time. So Mikey pushing hard to catch up to that battle early on, and that Mercedes just couldn't handle it. The motor giving way.
Well, I'm sure they'll confer with Mercedes and see if there's any engineering flaws in those motors.
Yeah, Ian's going to have to be careful. He keeps running wide at that kink. One of these times it's going to burn him, I think.
Yeah, trying to get some separation from David Canavan and just not able to quite accomplish the feat.
Looks like Nick has has lost a little bit of time to David Pohl. Looks like he might have made a mistake.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that is exactly the reason.
Meanwhile, up front, looks like Moses continues to hang on to that first spot after falling under some intense pressure from Aaron Parsons. Still feeling the heat.
Yeah, Aaron picks up about a half second coming down these straights. At least he has. Didn't get off that corner very well, but he's just all but about 1/10 away in those braking zones from being able to make the pass on Chris Moses. So lap after lap, it's kind of been a same old for these guys.
So Mikey's engine going. That's moved Sam Rolfe up to P8. Tell you what, gotta hand it to Sam. He's doing tremendous work here.
Yeah, absolutely, and really not too far off his teammate there, Nick Johnson, in fourth in terms of overall time. So a very nice run by Sam.
You gotta wonder now, is Esteban a little worried? I'm sure these two guys are probably running similar setups. So and Este's been pushing really hard to move up through the field here.
Yeah, hard to say, Al.
Sorry, two Ferraris here, Jared Keane and Bjorn Heyman going at it. Bjorn currently at 16th. Thiago now looked at 19th, all over the back of John Houston.
Yeah, Thiago not making a type of progress you would have expected him to make through the field. Don't know if he's had a bit of contact out there, what have you, but in any event, he hasn't. He got that 19th spot early and has pretty much stayed there since.
It's going to be hard for that Porsche to get by the Viper of Houston, especially on the straights. Thiago's really going to have to keep close to him through some of these corners. Hope John makes a mistake to get by.
Yeah, that's more likely. Even if he stays close, he probably will not be able to get a draft off that Viper.
I'll tell you what, he's side by side, but you see now that Viper really stretching its legs down the straight.
It's so fast in the straight line. It's ridiculous.
Thiago just does not have an answer.
Yeah, that is frustrating. Having driven many seasons myself in cars that relatively low powered, once you get back there a little ways, it's darn frustrating.
John D's running 24th. Take a position away from Eric Marecki. Meanwhile, Salem Montgomery Jr. behind the D's in this battle. Gup Douglas also showing up in this fight.
A quick update, Al. Nick Johnston has gotten past David Poole for that third position.
So this will
quickly running out of laps here, Al. It got eight in the books and out of a scheduled 12.
We got Jack Ivey also with an expired engine, so the comfort looks like it lost a rod somewhere or burnt a hole through the piston. Who knows? The thing's gonzo. Meanwhile, Nick, now he's got what? We're thinking 12 laps and he's got.
It looks like they're going to have another 3 or 4 to run here.
He's 7 seconds behind these guys up front. He may get close, but probably not enough laps here.
Yeah, really kind of surprised I'm watching the battle here over that 5th place between David Canavan and Ian Jolicoeur. I have to say, I'm a little surprised at Ian Jolicoeur's pace and how much it has dropped off since the start of the event here. I'd ask him maybe some setup on there perhaps isn't using the tires a little bit more than they'd like, but in any event, Aston and Ian a little off the pace.
On the bumper of Sam Rolfe, we got Christian Hamilton right behind. Christian in P9 looking to get by Sam. Sam looks like he's suffering from a little bit of chop. And Sam looks like he might have lagged out. Wow, he's really lagging bad. And it looks like Christian may have gotten the worst of that one. Wow. Christian hitting the lag car of Sam Rolfe, and he went rear over tea kettle. Wow. That's unfortunate. Christian obviously now with some severe aero damage, just got to hang in there and keep plugging away because he's definitely going to make a face.
Yeah, it could be worse. Still on track and still out there fighting, and got a whole feature event yet to run, so got to minimize the damage.
Looks like Simon gets into the back of Soul. Simon waits, going to let Soul get the position back. That's allowed Kevin Miller to move up to 11th.
Yeah, nice run for
I was just
Kevin.
going to say the same thing. Yeah, he's looking good.
Yeah,
oh, and Ian Jolicoeur has blown the motor. We have 3 engine failures tonight. Wow.
Well, there you go. That explains his pace, Al. He was trying to save that motor, and in the end, it grenaded anyway.
Meanwhile, Tiago still, due to that, has moved up to 17th, but still behind John Houston.
Well, Tiago would like a few more positions, but even if he were to get up to, say, 14th, 12th, something like that, it's still going to be rough on this Porsche to start this feature event back there, trying to get by some of these guys.
So Sam now in 7th, Kurt up to 6th, and Esteban in 8th.
What a wild and woolly... yeah, what a great mix here, GT2 action, Al. You just never know the way it's going to go.
And Nick Johnson is making up a ton of time now, only 5 seconds back. I'll tell you what, if these two, Moses and Parsons, continue to mix it up, I don't think there's enough time for Nick to catch up to these guys, but he's made up 2 seconds in 2 laps.
Yeah, impressive times for Nick. I have to say I'm also pretty impressed by Chris Moses being able to stay out in front of Aaron Parsons. I thought his goose would be cooked as soon as Aaron got kind of settled into this race, but just not quite enough to get past him there, that booming Viper down the straights. So Chris Moses doing a great job staying out front.
Tell you what, Kurt Chandler in 6th, also doing a tremendous job in the Gumpert. Hopefully he doesn't blow it up. So the field in the top 10 looks like it's spread out a little bit. Johnny Lugnut's up to 9th. Sol Lugnow in the top 10.
Yeah, it should also be mentioned Drew Litka didn't have to start there at the back, joining the grid after the qualifying session. He's up to 18th as well, so good, strong run from Drew Litka.
John Houston looking on the inside of Christian Hamilton. Oh, and he just blew by him. So that aero damage is really having an effect on Christian, as Houston just motored past him. Christian runs a little bit wide, that may allow Tiago to get by. Tiago on the inside.
Yeah, helping out John Houston, of course, that Viper power as well.
Both Moses and Parsons run wide on the kick, but Parsons may have a look on the inside of Canada. He may get him. Ooh, a little contact. Oh, Chris hangs on to it. Meanwhile, Nick Johnson is right there as these two go at it. Tremendous pace.
Aaron may actually be close enough now, but I don't know if we have a whole nother lap to run.
I don't know either.
We might have one more. Now that's it, Al. Aaron would have gotten him.
Tremendous. Chris Moses first, Parsons second, Johnston third. David Pohl's going to take fourth. Canavan will finish fifth. Kurt Chandler looks like he's going to finish sixth. Followed by Sam Rolfe. Esteban Palacio in eighth. Johnny Lugnut's impressive ninth considering where he started from. So Long is going to round up the top 10. With Simon Goodwin immediately behind. Bjorn Heyman in 12th, sorry. Marco Conti 13th. John Houston 14th. Christian 15th. Tiago 16th. Jared Keane 17th. Drew Litkin 18th. Lou 19th. Sean Dees 20th. Kevin Miller 21st. What happened to Kevin? Montgomery Jr. 22nd. Marecki 23rd. Gup Douglas 24th. Cliff Nowa 25th. Brian Story 26th. Matrix 27th. Kenny Mervins looks like he's going to finish in 28th.
Well, what incredible...
I take that back. I thought Ivy was driving. I kind of last season he was in the Comfort, so I'm sorry. He was in the Ferrari. He blew the Ferrari as Kenny struggling. But go ahead, Brad.
I was going to say what incredible parity we have in this league. These positions, particularly from 6th, 7th on back. These guys are going to be in a dogfight all season. It's going to be an amazing season, and the way these finishes stacked up here tonight, what an amazing feature race we're going to have next week. Just incredible. This is this is shaping up to be one hell of a season. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, a tremendous Super Pole evening here tonight. Great qualifying laps and really exciting qualifying race. So that, like you said, it should shape up next week to be a tremendous friggin' a tremendous 2-hour race there at here at Road America. And I'll tell you what, these guys are going to want to keep Nick Johnson behind because he is on fire. I mean, he caught up to those guys right near the end there. He's going to be the guy to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys will learn something from this qualifying race here tonight and maybe do something to preserve those engines a little bit. Looks like some of them are going to need to. Yeah, something we haven't seen in quite some time. Fire. And from engines blowing up. But, these guys, like you said, it's this qualifying race, these guys are on the limit here as far as setup goes, and some of these cars just couldn't handle it. Anyway, thanks Brad, and thanks everybody who tuned in. Be sure to be with us next week at 9 Eastern for the 2-hour feature race here from Road America. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next week.